and I'm the chair of the Paralegal Division of the Utah State Bar. And I am so excited to be here with you, well, not really with you, but you know what I mean, to kind of talk to you about the utilization of paralegals. As a new attorney, you've just finally passed the bar, hopefully, graduated law school, obviously, and you are well on your way. So what is the big deal about paralegals? Well, first of all, they're probably the most important support staff that you can have. Paralegals are people who chose to be in the legal field and chose not to go to law school so that we could support you. And that's what we do. So with that being said, I looked up, I wanted a specific definition of what a paralegal was. And Wikipedia, of course, Wikipedia, let's make sure it's true, right? Says that a paralegal, generally speaking, is a professional who has the required education and expertise to perform substantial legal work for which law firm or supervising attorney is ultimately responsible. Also, with that being said, the Utah Rules of Professional Conduct, Rule 5.3 is also responsibilities regarding the non-lawyer assistants, and that would be us. And what your job is to understand those rules when you are working with paralegals, and usually as a new attorney, the paralegal you're working for knows those rules and what we can and cannot do. So they will help guide you along that path to make sure that you are properly supervising and that they are kind of helping you to be the best attorney you can be. So paralegals can be found anywhere, basically. We can be found in big law firms, small law firms, corporations, nonprofits. There's also freelance paralegals who work, who get contracted in by a solo practitioner to help on a big project. But a paralegal has to be under the direction of an attorney. Otherwise, it falls under unauthorized practice of law. And so paralegals don't really want to fall under that, and I don't think attorneys want their paralegals to fall under that. So it kind of works well for both of us. Depending on where a paralegal works will determine what work that they do. Paralegals can do so many things that it's boundless. I think the important thing to remember is that paralegals are profit centers. We bring in money. You can charge the client for the work that we do. And so if you are hoping to have somebody to bring in money, you don't want your paralegal spending all of her time doing budgets or doing copying or putting together binders that really aren't necessarily billable to a client. You want to give us projects that will bill. Now, if you work in a small firm, the likelihood is your paralegal is going to do those things as well. But the goal is to have the paralegal help you make money for your firm and for you as a solo practitioner. The things that the paralegals cannot do, that list is a lot smaller, and it spans the entire gamut of where paralegals work. So I thought I would point out the things we cannot do. Obviously, we cannot practice law. We are not attorneys. We did not go to law school. And we don't want to practice law at all. We kind of want to be there to help you practice law and make you look good. So we don't practice law. We also do not set fees. So if you have a client coming in, we're happy to meet with the client. We're happy to interview the client. We're happy to take information from the client, but it's up to you to determine the fees. Also, we cannot appear in court. We will come with you and support you and give you Post-it notes to tell you what to say if you forget, or give you ideas on how to approach situations in court, but we will not talk to the judge for you. That is your job. Also, depositions. We're happy to help you write deposition questions, and typically, because we're doing a bunch of research and we know the facts of the case, we have lots of really great ideas on questions for depositions. So we won't ask the questions of the witness in a deposition. That's your job, but we are happy to help you navigate what questions you may want to ask. Sometimes I, in the past, have had chances where I really want to know something because I read a weird thing in a document and I wanted to have further explanation, and the attorney was able to get that explanation for me. Also, paralegals can't accept cases. I've had plenty of opportunities that to talk to potential clients, but in the end, it's the attorney's job to decide whether they want to take that case or not. Also, going along with with practice of law, and that we don't do that, would be giving legal advice. It's interesting being a paralegal because people in the community automatically associate us with attorneys, which they should. However, they tend to think that we have the answers, which we may, but we can't give that information. We can tell them where to look in the rule, but we cannot determine how to read the rule or how it applies to that particular circumstance. So we do a lot of times referring people to attorneys to get their questions answered. So now that we've talked about things that paralegals cannot do, let's talk about a couple of the things that we can do. We can draft complaints, answers to discovery, we can draft requests for discovery, we can draft motions, we can basically draft any document that you want to submit to the court or to the opposing side. Also, if you work in-house at a company, obviously in-house is a company, your paralegal can do work such as filing corporation documents and keeping licenses up and making sure that they fall within, your company stays within the bounds of proper registration and registered agents and different things like that. Your paralegal can also do research, background research on specific products. If you're doing a product liability case, research on people. Nothing like finding out the goods on the people that you're going to have a case with. There's lots of goods out there, by the way. They also do document reviews and productions. Obviously, that's with you reviewing that production prior to it going out, but they can get the production ready. Also, like I said, they could do the legal research and trial preparation, which is one of the biggest parts of any paralegal's work and kind of the fun. It's kind of like going to the Super Bowl, going to trial, because you get this chance to say, look, we really are right, and put it before the jury and hope that they see all the things that you've worked so hard to see and to get them to see. They help with exhibit lists. They help with tracking the admitted exhibits into trial. They help with trial presentation. They can help with anything like that. Also, paralegals can help with drafting case summaries for clients or client reports that they require, taking that time to put it together. That way you don't have to try to draft the whole thing. Some clients really want a detailed list. Others just want a quick email that says this is where we're at. So it depends. Also, your paralegal can not just interview clients or potential clients, but they can also call and or meet up with witnesses that you want to put on your witness list or trying to determine who should be on your witness list. Paralegals can take the time and go and interview. And 9 times out of 10, those witnesses will talk to the paralegal a lot more in depth than they will an attorney, because they think, oh, that's an attorney, I better be careful what I say. Where paralegals, they don't necessarily think that about them. So they start talking and spilling all sorts of good information. So utilizing your paralegals in those ways will, obviously, with you supervising, will help keep the flow of the case going. Unauthorized practice of law, obviously that's a huge thing. Now that you're a new attorney, you're going to get copies of the Utah Bar Journal, and in the back, some of those may contain disciplinary actions and different things like that, and that will include people who have unauthorized practice of law. And that includes attorneys who don't properly supervise the paralegals that they say they are supervising. It's your job, when a paralegal hands you a document that they have drafted for you, that you review it. That's your job, to make sure that what we have written down is correct. Obviously, the more experienced the paralegal, sometimes the better work product that you'll get and the less review time you have to do. But it's always important that you always review the paralegal's work because your name's the one being signed at the bottom. Also, one of the interesting things that people always ask paralegals is, well, why are you a paralegal and not an attorney? Most paralegals are paralegals because they want to, not because they want to go to law school. There are paralegals who do have the goal to go to law school and to be an attorney, and that is fantastic. But I think there's great honor in being the paralegal and being in the role to support attorneys to make sure that there's justice for our clients, whatever that may be. So, not that you shouldn't support your paralegal in one career aspiration or another, but perhaps be a little bit, cautious because they might really love their job and you might make them mad. So don't do that. So some steps. Here's some steps that I think are helpful when utilizing a paralegal. The first thing when you get a case or get a project is to talk to your paralegal. One thing that we absolutely love is being involved. If you have a project and you come to us when it's on, it's due in an hour and you had it a month, we will help you get it done, but we won't be very happy about it. So, right when you get it, they probably have lots of really great ways to get it done really quickly and efficiently. That gives you enough time to spend your time analyzing the law and really working up the case from the attorney's perspective. Also, the benefit of using a paralegal in that regard is that we cost less to the client. So, clients are more apt to pay our bill if we spend 3 hours rather than an attorney bill at 3 hours. And you're still making more money. Number 2, I would give your paralegal the opportunity to make decisions. Don't micromanage us. Most of us have been doing this quite a while, and even if we haven't been doing it quite a while and we're new paralegals, we have lots of ideas and lots of resources on how to do various projects that will take less time and be really efficient and effective. Not saying you shouldn't ask questions, not saying that you shouldn't be involved, more just if you give a project to a paralegal, expect that they will complete that project on time and be right. The third step that I think is important is to ask your paralegal their opinion. That says to a paralegal that you care about what they think, that they are part of the team. Because paralegals work really hard to make you look good, and if you don't care what they think, why should they care about the end product? Most paralegals have good work ethic and would care anyway because that's our personality types, but it's always good to know that our opinion matters. So some benefits of proper utilization would be there's more time to practice law for you. Again, paralegals don't practice law. We just help you practice law. So it gives you more time to do the things that you enjoy. Also, that would be the analyzing and applying the law part. Paralegals can help you do the research, both electronic or in the books, either way. I believe most programs out there for paralegals teach both electronic and library research. And so paralegals can help you do the research, but it's up to you to determine how to apply it. Also, it's effective for your budget. Like I mentioned before, clients are much more willing to pay for 5 hours of paralegal time versus 3 hours of attorney time to do the same project or similar work, where you could get your 3 hours doing something completely different while the paralegal works that 5 hours on that project. And sometimes paralegals, because we have such a good networking by working together, either with opposing counsel or through the paralegal division, having those networking opportunities, they are able to kind of pull resources on how to best do a certain project if they've never done it before. Also, another benefit of utilizing paralegals, is the fact that you have less turnover of associates. If associates are totally bombarded, and so that will be you, bombarded with such a vast amount of work that you have no time to enjoy life, and life is to be enjoyed by everyone. And so if you're stuck at the office working till 10 o'clock at night where you don't have support staff, perhaps a paralegal will be able to help you, so then you're both there till 7 and you can get home and do fun things. So those are the benefits of having a paralegal and utilizing them. If you treat your paralegal with common courtesy, respect, all the things that you hear in kindergarten about the golden rule, and you work really hard and trust that they know what they're doing too, you could have a great relationship with your paralegal. I've been really lucky to work with amazing attorneys who have allowed me to have that role, and I'm grateful for that. So if you want paralegals who are loyal to you and are willing to work hard for you, treat them with respect, and you'll have it. And thanks. Have a great day.